another Wednesday evening, and I'm Elizabeth Diamond with News Extra. The Department of Crop Science, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, has perfected a research which makes it possible to cultivate vegetables like carrots, cabbage, cucumber, and lettuce in any part of southeast of Nigeria. In Kira, Ayatin has details.
A 5-year research on the challenges of growing vegetable crops like cabbage, carrot, cucumber, lettuce, and green pepper in the southeast zone led to the revelation that with good soil, the required skill and ingenuity, the crops can flourish. Showcasing an experimental farm of the vegetable crops at the Department of Crop Science, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Professor Michael Oguru said the department has produced the Phytofeed, which, if applied to the soil, makes it adaptable to such crops. Professor Oguru explained that the Phytofeed, which is very rich in plant nutrients, is the first feed made from household waste.
And I started with potted experiment, growing them in pots. And when I found out that they could do well in pots, I concluded that the problem was not environmental, aerial environment, but subterranean problem, that is soil environment. And these phytofeeds incorporated first into the soil before these things are planted, and now you can see good performance. They are obvious in the field.
The researcher indicated his willingness to partner with the government at all levels to transfer the technology to the youths in the southeast zone.
I'm calling on the government, the state, the local, the state, and the federal government, and NGOs to partner with me. Agriculture has passed the stage of give them money, let them go and plant. No, you don't empower an ignorant person. Anybody you want to empower must be knowledgeable.
Some students of the department speak on their observations.
So it's something that could create wealth for the resource-poor farmers that are looking for a means of livelihood.
I am encouraging the youth today to embark in this agriculture.
Nigerians have been advised to visit the farm website at www.ourlordsgarden.com for more information on the farm. This vegetable farm is the product of a high-efficiency agriculture of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. From the Department of Crop Science, UNN, Nkiru Anyefina, NTA News.
It started with a major challenge. About 5 years ago, we went to town to search for carrots and cabbage in the grocery shop. And we got there. It was on Monday, and we were told that the vehicle that went to Jos is yet to be back. And until it comes back, we will not have carrots and cabbage. So it was a major problem. And when I came back, I began to think about it. If somebody who has been professing to be an agriculturist with bias in crop production is searching for carrots and cucumbers and could not get them, and he just gives in like that, it's analogous to an engineer that cannot change plugs in his own vehicle. So I decided to begin to think about the possibility of growing these crops in our local environment. And I started with potted experiment, growing them in pots. And when I found out that they could do well in pots, I concluded that the problem was not environmental, aerial environment, but subterranean problem, that is soil environment. And the first one I tried in the open field was a miserable failure. When I repeated it the second year, there was a glimpse of hope. By third year, I started perfecting. And this is the fourth year of trying it. Because somehow I was able to generate what we call Phytofeed from waste, household waste. And these phytofeeds are incorporated first into the soil before these things are planted. And now you can see the good performance. They are obvious in the field. You can see the cabbage, the carrots, using the Phytofeed, they are performing well. So these are products of 5 to 6 years research in the Department of Crop Science, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Garbage from the kitchen, yam peelings, cassava peelings, gari that is not eaten, maybe leftover of gari, beans, rice, fruits, these things that the people did not eat, when you put them together, they constitute the household waste.
So how did you make them into this?
Okay, we went through a series of decomposition processes. In this issue of producing this feed, we combine what we call aerobic and anaerobic bacteria, the activities of this bacteria. We'll start with anaerobic condition and move into aerobic. Anaerobic, we remove oxygen and allow bacterial cells that can thrive in the absence of oxygen to break down the materials. And after that, we start series of turnings of the waste. This incorporates air into the mass, and eventually you will now have aerobic activities, and this will break down within 4 weeks. You have material that does not smell and that is very rich in plant nutrients, and we call it Phytofeed. This is the first feed. This is the first feed that is coming out of this, and it's going to be patented. The carrots are planted in situ direct into the field. After you have prepared the soil and incorporated the Phytofeed, you plant direct. But it is not that you cannot transplant carrots, but when the roots, if you transplant carrot, instead of transplant, the root will bend, and it is the root that you harvest. So if it becomes disfigured, market acceptability will not be there. So that's why you plant it direct. But cabbage, and cabbage in particular, you grow in a nursery and transplant into the field. And there is a particular time you do the transplanting. That is, you don't transplant at any stage of its growth. There is a particular age. It's mandatory and compulsory that you will do that transplant at that time. Then cucumbers are planted direct. They are not transplanted. The lettuce is transplanted. Is a daughter of a major challenge that the whole southeast will wait for vehicles that will come back from Jos before they can eat these things. Is absurd and is ridiculous. In a place where you have a university with crop science and faculty of agriculture as a foundation department and faculty since 1960, will not eat carrots and cabbage until the vehicle that went to Jos will come back. We said no, it's not right. We refuse to accept that, and that was exactly what initiated this. It's a major challenge. They say necessity is the mother of invention. And also, assuming there's a hostility, Assuming there's a problem, for instance, between North and South, and there's a court at Benue, what happens to us? It means no more carrot, no more cabbage. It is not right. These are the things that engineered this research that are giving birth to this production.
So what call are you making on government?
Yes, the call I'm making on government is that they have to partner with me. Because they are talking about youth empowerment, they are talking about wealth creation, they are talking about capacity building. None of these things will be solved or done with grammar. It's action. And if they are ready to partner with me, I will provide the mentorship. You know, the youths of today are not like the youths of 1960s. They are in a hurry, they are in the fast lane. And if you tell them go and grow cassava and grow yam, these things will take a year or two before they come to fruition. No youth is ready to have that patience. So these ones that are short-term annuals, 2 months, 3 months, if we teach our youths how to produce them, and they sell within 2 months, within 3 months, and then recoup their money and start all over again, I think they will be attracted. So I'm calling on the government, the state, the local, the state, and the federal government, and NGOs to partner with me. Agriculture has passed the stage of give them money, let them go and plant. No, you don't empower an ignorant person. Anybody you want to empower must be knowledgeable, because knowledge is power. And if we want this into yield result, it's not enough to say, oh, let them go back to the farm. The environment is used up. Even the soil of Nigeria has degraded to a point where they are failing the weeds. Weeds no longer thrive on Nigerian soils. So you require a lot of amendment, a lot of skill, a lot of ingenuity to make the soils productive. So it's not a newspaper or television business. It's land and soil business. And those of us who have passion for this should be called in to do this. You could start with local government, you could start with state government. With respect to manure application, there are different grades of manure. Some will just buy poultry manure or pig dung and apply direct. These, in most cases, are habitats of microorganisms, particularly if they are not well cured, that's well dried. That is why the Phytofeed is unique, because the Phytofeed has completed its decomposition process and cannot support the growth of microbes as such. Those that will really affect them are those that will break them down and use them to build their bodies and die almost immediately. So that is the difference. If you buy raw manure from the poultry house, there may be problems. But with the Phytofeed, there are no problems at all. You have heaps upon heaps of garbage all over the cities and the villages. And government does not seem to know what to do with them. But these things can be broken down to produce Phytofeed. And it's not going to cost the government so much. All we need are the necessary machines and facilities to break them down, then begin to package these things for export, for local use, and for production of all these allied vegetables. They can be produced in large scale. Yes.
Yes, I'm very, very happy about the farm. That's why I'm here to make a comment. So like youths, my fellow youths, in Nigeria today, youths found agriculture as something that is outdated, as something that is done by our forefathers. So I am encouraging the youths today to embark in this agriculture, because looking at this farm, we can see that somebody can make a lot of naira from just a little thing in the farm. So I encourage our youth to support agriculture, and also encourage our Professor Gro, the HOD of Crop Science Department, to continue with this work. And again, I heard him saying that he wants government to partner with him. Yes, it's good. But another thing I want to chip in is that you have to at least encourage other youth, not waiting for the government to partner with you before you can expose all the secrets to us. So we are your students, and we have other people that are interested in agriculture. We can call them in. Let us partner together and learn all these techniques. Thank you very much.
I'm Chinedu Felix. Actually, I want to, as my professor has said, to beg the government, let the government see how we can help him so that this knowledge will be transferred to our youth, so that the youth can be busy doing something. Because an idle mind is a devil's workshop. If the government can see a way to come in and assist him fully, I believe if he transfers this knowledge to at least 1 million people, because they say when you want to empower a nation, you invest in human being. This is a human being investment. So I'm begging the federal government, the state